What's up, world? This get ready to be my first YouTube video, and you know, shit is crazy right now, man. Crazy. This is a crazy world. If y'all ain't know, it's a crazy world. Let me explain something to y'all about myself. Me, I always been the type of dude that seeked truth, knowledge, and love. You know what I mean? Because those are the things that I feel like are pure and worth trying to find. And I'm a real big believer in the Bible. I always have been, you know. I was born in 1985, so they say, which what I'm finding out is hearsay because we don't even know what year we're really in, kinda. Because we're on this thing called the Gregorian calendar. But I digress. Typical story of, a man of melanated color, most of us, 90% of us, single parent home, mother and father split up, they not married, had you out of wedlock, all those things which are against what the Bible says, right? So, I was raised by somebody else, in the family, and I don't say her name. She was a woman. She did the very best that she could. She provided me with all my physical needs, food, water, shelter, clothing. And she gave me the love that she could, but she wasn't my mother. So it's not like, I got the I love yous and hugs and all that type of stuff. The type of love that a mother gives you. She did her best, okay? But now I'm a little older, and one day we can go over my life story if I find it necessary. But really, I want to talk to y'all about something real important, man. It's this whole Bible thing and law, okay? So right now, I'm in a situation, a civil case. I'm not going to go into the specifics. And also on the brink of a possible divorce, right? So if y'all don't know and y'all haven't figured it out yet, the Bible, and I have more research to do. I don't know much about the Quran and all that type of stuff, and I'll get there. But seek the truth and ye shall find. Now let's get into it. A lot of people been hearing about this sovereignty, secure party creditor thing, and some people think it's real and some people think it's don't. I'm here to tell you it's absolutely real. Absolutely real, without a doubt in my mind. Okay? And I'm going to tell you why I know it's real. When you start to read the Bible, you know that Yahweh is what I choose to use. Some people say God, some people say the All, some people say Elohim. But Yahweh made a covenant with a group of people. These people were descendants of Jacob. They were Israel. He made a covenant. Now, when you start doing your research, a covenant means contract. Covenant is contract. Contract is covenant, okay? In this covenant or contract, he gave his law to Israel, okay? He gave his law. So therefore, if A equals C and B equals C, then A equals C. I don't know if I said that right, but whatever. Y'all get the gist if you had algebra before. So that means that a covenant, a contract, and law are all equal. It's the same thing, okay? So that's the first form of law, according to the Bible, that man was given, right? So some people have said that law stands for a certain thing. It's kind of like an acronym: land, air, and water, LAW. From what I understand from the Bible, Yahweh said, follow the law of the land. He gave us a way to live on the land that he made us from, the brown dirt, right? So man goes on to make their own creations in defiance of these laws, and things just go horribly wrong. You get the Tower of Babel. We get kicked out the garden, Tower of Babel, and all kinds of different things. And what I'm beginning to see in my life and manifest in others' life, and just how the world is in general, when people don't follow these laws, especially Israel, there's all kinds of hardships, calamities, disasters, tragedies, breaking up of families, going to prison, being poisoned. It's all kinds of stuff going on over here. You know what I mean? And some people's eyes are not open to this yet. And it's sad because once you start to realize this and you see it, it makes you want to change your life. And that's why in the beginning, when I said I've always been a truth seeker and a person that likes to find the truth, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go on a journey, and I want to take y'all on this journey with me. I want people to see my development, because they say lead by example. You know, Yeshua or Jesus, or, you know, whatever people prefer to call him these days, led by example. Okay. And everybody has their opinion about it. But when you really get into this thing, you start to see this. Okay. And I don't want to get into arguments about the Bible was tampered with. They took out these books, because eventually, once I get everything going, it's going to be in a structured format when we have these conversations and videos. And it'll be in much more professional manner. I'll have lighting set up and all that. But I want to give what I have to who is able and willing to receive it. Okay. And I don't want to waste my time with people who care not to receive this message, because I've done that and it's taken energy out of me to try and teach these things to people. And most people are hard-headed and don't listen anyway. So, back to this whole SPC and law thing, right? Oh, man. I don't even know where to begin, y'all. First and foremost, let's take something like a mortgage, for example, okay? When you go to the bank and you sit down with a banker, right, they're going to ask to pull your credit report. And I guess your credit report is something that shows your ability to pay or your willingness to pay over a certain amount of time, you know. And really, to me, what I'm starting to see is it's a way to figure out if they can get interest out of you. If you're willing to go into debt and you can pay interest. Because, you know, if you know anything about finance, when you make payments, it's mostly in the beginning towards interest, and the principal is paid off later. Okay. So you sit down with the mortgage lender or whoever, whatever bank you go to, and they pull your credit report, right? Once they pull your credit report and they see that you're credit worthy, they then proceed to draw up this contract or covenant, or better known, it's really a promissory note. But let me ask y'all a question. Before you sat down at that person's desk and signed that promissory note, did that piece of paper have any value? So they bring it to you, right? They check your credit score and they bring you this piece of paper. Nothing happens or nothing transpires until you put some energy into it in the form of a signature. And my question to you is, was that piece of paper worth anything? Was there any value given or consideration given before you signed it? I don't know. You tell me. I contend to say no, that there was no value to that promissory note or mortgage contract until you signed it. Now, once you signed it, it pretty much became a covenant or a law. You know, that you were agreeing to pay this amount of money over X amount of years or whatever. Okay. That in itself is the value. That piece of paper is the value. So you just gave $300,000 or whatever the price was to that mortgage lender. And then in turn, they give you the house. The deal should be done. But no, that's not what happens. You give them $300,000 in value. They give you the house and then continue to charge you for it over the course of 30 years with interest. Okay. And then they call it a mortgage. Oh, man. And I'm sorry, but like, if y'all can't like see this, y'all like absolutely like dumb, bro. It's like the dumbest shit ever if you can't like really get this. And I don't mean to be condescending, but I'm really just trying to help. I promise, you know. And I've learned from others. I've done my own research, and that's the most important part. If you think I'm bullshitting on anything I say, do your own research and find out if I'm lying. A mortgage is 2 words. Mort, which means death or dead. Engage, which is some sort of pledge. So a mortgage is a death pledge. Okay? So, and I apologize. This video may not be as structured as I want to because I'm just sitting here, I'm in Texas, you know, in deep thought meditation, and I had some anger on my heart. So you know what? I was like, I'll release this anger in the form of a lesson for the people to kind of get this anger off me. But yeah, so you give this promise to pay in return for a death pledge, but you've already paid as soon as you sat down. Shall I go to another example? How about a car lot? Okay. You go to a car lot, you see a Mercedes Benz, you sit down with the car dealership, and they pull your credit report, ask you about your income history. By the way, income is profit. Okay, we'll go into labor and how labor, it's not a fair exchange, and they call it income because you had to give something to get something. So that's a fair exchange. So it's not profit, but the IRS classifies income as profit, But anyway, and please feel free to comment and correct me on the things that I'm wrong on or made a mistake on. But anyway, you sit down with the car lot, right? They pull your credit report and they come back with another contract, another promissory note, okay? For about, let's say a Mercedes-Benz, I don't know, let's say it's $60,000. Question: prior to you signing that agreement for the car, did that piece of paper have any value? No. It became valuable or a negotiable instrument once you signed it. So who's really giving the credit? You or the car lot? You just gave the car lot $60,000 for that car. The deal should be done. But no, what happens? You now have a car note for, $339 a month, depending on your credit score and the amount of interest they charge you, for $339 a month over the course of 36 months. But you paid for the car already, though, so you could charge for it twice. Now, let's say you have a nice salary just over broke, or job, for lack of a better term, and you've been on your job for years, and you build your credit up, and you go sit down at this car lot, and you get this car. You work hard. You do what the boss man say. Show up every day on time. You don't call in. You do what you're supposed to do. And then something like, I don't know, coronavirus happens, right? And all of a sudden, businesses are getting shut down. Now you have no way to provide income to cover this car note. So you start getting notices in the mail. Repeat these words. You start getting a notice through the mail. The first notice says, hey, you're behind on your car note. Give us a call so we can work out a payment plan. And, we'll go from there. But you, being a debtor, and not understanding your true power in nature, you ignore it because you're getting flooded with bills now that you can't pay, and and your savings is running out, and you don't know how to pay these bills or notes or, whatever they may be. So you ignore this first notice, okay? Maybe 10 days go by, maybe 30 days go by. You get a second notice. This notice, the second one is a little more adamant. Excuse me, sir. This is your second payment that you've missed, and we're going to start to repossess or foreclose on your property if we don't get a payment or you don't call in and make a payment arrangement. You ignore that one. A few more days go by, another 30 days go by, a tow truck is pulling up at your house, taking your property. Although you only had 6 more months to pay on it. Then they take that car, put it back on the lot, and do the same thing to another sucker. Man, y'all better start peeping game. You know what I mean? We're going to start doing lessons. I'm going to talk to y'all, and I got to give a shout out to the people I learned from, Yusufil, T-Doc, they're big over there at T-Doc. I rock with them. So, and this thing also has to do with spirituality. So, I welcome everybody, but really, just being honest and upfront here, I'm really concerned about my people from what I believe, and that's Israel. And you know who you are. I'm talking to you, Jake. You know what I mean? So if you need help understanding and learning some of these things, and you're looking to connect with people to understand spirituality and health, and why it's important to not smoke cigarettes, to not eat pork and shrimp and shellfish, and to clean your temple out, and to wear your fringes, and to grow your beard. You know what I mean? If you're looking for people that understand these things and you're a little bit behind the curve, it's never too late to change your life, because I'm definitely doing it. You know, right now, I'm working on understanding private administrative process. I put up a website. I'm working on my credit, fixing that to use it the right way. Okay. And, we'll get into details about a little bit more who I am, my story, and the trials and tribulations that I'm going through right now, and learning the truth, which is making me mad, but it's making me free. And I'm gonna just give y'all this little precept, you know what I mean? And I don't know if I'm quoting it right, and I should have a Bible with me right now. But what I'm really understanding is Psalm, I believe it's Psalm chapter 111, verse 10. Fear of Yahweh is the beginning of understanding and wisdom. Fear of Yahweh is the beginning of understanding and wisdom. Because we're all under captivity and judgment right now. The entire world, and it's not going to get no better, y'all. I hate to say it, something's going to have to give. This evil place that we're in is going to have to change some way. And I believe that Revelation sheds light on that. Because everything I've been through in my life, the Bible has touched on it. And I didn't listen before, and it's not too late. I'm not dead or in prison, but there's some things going on right now that, yeah, this is a butt whipping from the Most High, for sure, to bring us back, Israel, and I don't want to get into the 12 tribes and all that type of stuff, because some of us Jakes, some people in Israel, is saying that the 12 tribes doctrine is false, you know what I mean? And the One West doctrine is false. So, I don't give credence to any of that, because it says, seek and ye shall find. So I've always been a truth seeker, and it's led me to this path that I'm on right now. So I'll be back, y'all. But stay safe. Most High bless.